Today is the day that Dalton McGuinty's Green Energy Act, Gerald Butts, architect, was repealed. For nearly 10 years it was on the books. Its roots went deep into the province, but it was rooted out like a weed. Let me read from Doug Ford's press release. It really should be sung. This should be sung in a ballad, a great victory song. I'll just read it. Ontario scraps the Green Energy Act. Will protect consumers, restore municipal authority over energy projects. So this is the press release. I'm going to read some of it. Ontario's government for the people, I love that, keep saying that, guys. Ontario's government for the people is delivering on its promise to repeal the Green Energy Act 2009 that led to the disastrous feed-in tariff program and skyrocketing electricity rates for Ontario families. The Green Energy Repeal Act eliminates a piece of legislation that introduced disastrous changes to Ontario's energy system that led to rising electricity rates for families and businesses, said Minister of Energy, Northern Development and Mines Greg Rickford. By repealing this act, we're restoring planning decisions to municipalities that were stripped by previous government and ensuring local voices have the final say on energy projects in their communities, unquote. One more quote. The Green Energy Repeal Act gives government the authority to stop approvals for wasteful energy projects where the need for electricity has not been clearly demonstrated. This will put the brakes on additional projects that will add additional cost to electricity bills that the people of Ontario simply cannot afford. Along with repealing the Green Energy Act, the new legislation gives municipalities the final say over the siting of future energy projects in their communities. That's a big part of it. You can't build a pipeline in Canada without endless consultations. We know that. Everyone knows that now. Even people thousands of miles away from a pipeline were allowed to weigh in on the pipeline. I'm not kidding. The Northern Gateway Pipeline took testimony from all across the country and even from foreign citizens. Even Hugo Chavez Oil Company, Citgo, was allowed to make a presentation. Endless consultations. But not so for building massive wind turbines out of Dalton McGuinty and Kathleen Wynne. The Green Energy Act did not allow towns to have a say. Let me phrase that the other way. It banned towns from having a say. Can you believe that? Those things are as high as a skyscraper. Have you ever been up close? I've been right up close to those. They are 30, 40 stories high. It's like downtown Toronto skyscrapers. They are hideous from afar. They are noisy. They are vibrating. They're destroying a rural aesthetic. Oh, and most of them don't, I don't know if you even notice it. Spot wind turbines, most of them aren't even spinning, by the way. They're awful. And they're foisted on the local people. No local people want those. No environmental impact assessments either. No plans for remediation after the life of the wind turbine is over. Here's what I mean by that. Oil sands companies and other mines, they often have to set aside real money, not like a promise, but actual shove the cash over, for cleanup in advance, in case they go out of business. So in Alberta, you want to start an oil sands mine, you have to put money into escrow. Like $1 billion you have to set aside in case you go out of business. It's a cleanup fund. It's an interesting idea. No such thing for these 40-story monsters. And it's a real issue because, of course, wind turbines only work if there are massive subsidies. So the moment the subsidies are cut off, they become money losers, and the companies either go bankrupt or they just abandon the wind turbines because they were really just a lobbying tool. And they're hideous and they rust. No one takes them down. There's no escrow fund to take them down. They just rust and rot, and sometimes they burn. I tell you, and you can't put them out. Those things are 40 stories high. You can't put those things out. It's incredible. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I won't lie, I'm enjoying this. Look at that. Yeah, baby. Green energy with a little bit of black smoke. Timber! Oh, yeah. Sorry, this is too good. That's too good. That's too good. Oh, yeah. I have seen dilapidated wind turbines on 3 continents. It's a real thing. It's extremely unenvironmental. And Gerald Butts and Dalton McGuinty brought that to Ontario along with huge power prices. That's an excerpt from my daily show, the Ezra Levant Show, weekdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Every day I do a monologue, interview a guest, and read my fan mail and my hate mail. To subscribe, go to therebel.media/shows.